Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showing you how I decorated this creamy and soft tiramisu cake. So let's get started. The first step is to make the creamy frosting. I have some mascarpone cheese, which is an Italian cream cheese. Next, I have some powdered sugar. I'm going to use my hand mixer and blend this together. I'm using my spatula to scrape the sides of the bowl to make sure everything is well combined. Here I'm adding some pure vanilla extract to give it some flavor, and you want to give it a good mix. So I'm moving on to making the whipped cream. I have some heavy whipping cream and I'm adding it to a chilled mixing bowl. It's best when you're making whipped cream that you're adding it to a chilled bowl. This will help it whip faster. So after a couple of minutes of mixing, you can see now the cream has turned into fluffy whipped cream. Next, I'm adding the whipped cream into the mascarpone mixture, and you want to fold this in gently. And I'm just going to add this in 2 parts. So the creamy mascarpone frosting is done. I'm just going to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and place it into the refrigerator until I need it later. So I'm moving on to the coffee mixture. I have some freshly brewed coffee, and I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons of sugar and give it a good mix. So I'm going to set this aside to work on the sponge cake layers. So here I'm just using a cardboard cake circle. This is mainly used for stacking cakes, but today I'm just using it to transfer the cake in and out the refrigerator. I'm adding a little cream to the cake circle, and this is just so the cake doesn't slide around. I have my first layer of vanilla sponge cake here and my coffee mixture, and I'm just going to dab a little of the coffee mixture onto the sponge cake layer using a pastry brush. One of the great things about using a sponge cake is that it's going to absorb and soak up all of this coffee mixture. I have my mascarpone cream frosting, and I'm just going to add it to the coffee soaked layers, and I'm using my spatula just to spread it evenly onto the cake layer. This is the second layer of sponge, and I'm just going to flip it over to where the crumbly part is facing the cream, and I'm just doing this so I won't have crumbs everywhere. If you would like the recipe to this vanilla sponge cake, I will link the video in the description box down below. So this is the third and final layer of sponge cake. I'm going to add the final layer with the coffee side facing the cream and gently pressing the cake down a bit so the cake is even. Here I'm just brushing off any leftover crumbs. Here I'm going to apply a thin layer of cream onto the cake and then place it into the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes for it to firm up. So after the cake has been in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to add the final layer of the mascarpone cream. I'm just going to apply a thick layer of cream to the sides of the cake, just to cover any parts of the cake that may be showing through. I'm using my spatula to smooth the sides and the top of the cake. You could also use a cake scraper for this as well. Okay, so once I have my cake smooth as I can get it, I'm going to place it back into the freezer for another 15 minutes. Here I have my piping bag with a star tip on the very end, and I'm just going to pipe some swirls on the very top of the cake. I wanted to keep this cake decoration very simple, but you can decorate it however you like. Okay guys, it's time for my favorite part. I'm just going to dust some cocoa powder on the very top. Okay, so now I'm going to cut a slice of this tiramisu cake so you guys can enjoy this with me. I actually made this cake for my birthday and I just wanted to share this with you. So you can see the different layers. We have the mascarpone whipped frosting, the soft vanilla sponge cake soaked with a little bit of coffee. And you can see how soft and spongy this vanilla sponge cake is. So once again, if you would like the recipe for this soft vanilla sponge cake, I will link the video in the description box down below. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.